everybody, welcome! Today we are going to be making chocolate cream parfaits. We have a very basic recipe for you today that you can amend, and we're going to put instructions for how you can do that in the comments section today. This is a great recipe, it looks really elegant, and it's also very, very easy. You can eat it warm or cold depending on your liking, and we're going to show you instructions for how to do that. We have 10 ingredients here today. We're going to start with the milk. 2 1/4 cups of milk. We're using 1% today. Usually the higher the fat content, the better. This works a little bit better to use something with at least 1% instead of skim milk. We also have 1/4 cup of unsweetened cocoa powder, 2/3 of a cup of white sugar. You can add or subtract a couple tablespoons from that if you like it sweeter or less sweet. 3 tablespoons of cornstarch, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, 2 tablespoons of regular salted butter, 3 tablespoons of powdered sugar, 2/3 of a cup of whipping cream, heavy whipping cream, and some beautiful mint that our wonderful sisters Lisa and Nicole gave us from their garden. Thank you so much. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Okay, so we're actually going to mix everything into a nice heavy bottom saucepan, and we're also going to need a whisk for this. A great big thank you to Abuelita and Abuelito Hernandez who got us this great pot. Thank you so much. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to mix in the dry ingredients first. Now, this might seem a little odd to do right here and not on the stove, but the reason we're doing this here because you want to get all those dry ingredients mixed together, and the cornstarch is the thing that makes it thick. Here's a fun fact. This is a gluten-free recipe, so if you have any gluten-free family members or friends, or you yourself are needing to go gluten-free, this is a great recipe. So we're going to mix all this together, and then we're going to mix in the milk. The milk is going to dissolve the cornstarch when it's cold. If you wait until it's hot to do this, it's actually going to make lumps, and it's just kind of unappealing looking. Okay, so we're going to get this all nice and mixed up. So we've stirred for about a minute to make sure everything is really well mixed in there. And again, the reason why we want to do that is to make sure that we don't get any lumps in there. Just to give you an idea of what it's going to look like. It looks like this. It's going to be very frothy and smooth looking. And we're going to go ahead and put this on the stove now. We're going to set it on medium-high heat. We're going to be really careful about stirring it, and it's going to cook for about 2 minutes, and then it's going to be done. Pretty easy, right? Let's go do that. So we're going to stir this for about 2 minutes on medium-high heat. We're also going to add our 1 teaspoon of vanilla and our 2 tablespoons of butter. This adds a nice richness to it. Whoop, there we go. Kind of splashes there. I'm going to stir this, like I said, for about 2 minutes. It's going to get thick. You'll also want to get about 4 glasses or something to put the pudding in. Now you can serve it while it's still warm, or you can have it cool down. I'll show you how to do that in just a moment. We're going to wait until this thickens. We've taken it off the stove now and given it a good little stir. And here's the consistency that you're looking for. It's still going to be a little bit drippy, but it'll firm up a bit after cooling down. Now, even if you want to eat it warm, at this point it's been off the stove for about 2 minutes. It's still way too hot to eat, as I'm sure you can imagine. So we're going to set it to the side, and we're going to work on our cream now. Okay, so it's been off the stove for about 3 minutes, and it's still really, really hot, too hot to eat. Now, one of the fun things here that you might notice is it's starting to develop a skin, which either, depending on your tastes, looks appealing or unappealing. You can just mix that right in there, or you can go ahead and take it off. Either way, while this cools down for a few more minutes, we're going to get started on the whipped cream. Again, we have 2/3 of a cup of heavy whipping cream and 3 tablespoons of powdered sugar. We're going to garnish with this lovely mint afterward. But these are going to be the two things that we put in the stand mixer. If you have a stand mixer, great. If you don't, you can use a hand mixer, or you can even use a whisk or a jar with the lid closed and just shake it for about 2 minutes, okay? So those are going to be the two ingredients that go into our whipped cream. So we're going to add our cream and our powdered sugar. If you want to flavor the cream, that could be really fun too, and we'll put instructions for how to do that in the comment section, because that can give it a whole other flavor. Gonna want to start off slow just to mix the ingredients, also so that powdered sugar doesn't go everywhere. I say that from experience. So we're gonna turn it up all the way to the highest one at 10. Okay, so I'm gonna show you how to put it together when it's still warm. If you want to wait until it's cool, have a nice summertime treat, go ahead and cover this with some plastic wrap, making sure to cover the top of it as well. Put it in your fridge overnight if you want to, that's fine. And then you can just assemble it as we're doing it right now. But what I'm going to show you how to do is assemble it if you're just ready to eat it now when it's still warm. Okay, so same basic steps, but you're just going to refrigerate it for at least a couple hours to overnight if you want to eat it cold, and then you can assemble it separately, okay? So here we go. And again, this is really, really fun. You can use wine glasses, you could use mason jars, you can use different kinds of jars and tie a pretty ribbon around the bottom. Just make it your own. Have fun with it. This is about the consistency of your whipped cream. See? Nice and fluffy. And when it's, whoops, got a little bit on there. When it's still warm, it's got this wonderful kind of hot chocolate sort of flavor to it. It's really, really good. Here we go. It's still steaming, so you can tell it's really, 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 really warm. Here we go. And we're just going to continue putting it in layers like this. I think our son is excited to try this.
Yes, I am.
Okay, so this is making a pretty huge parfait. You can make them bigger or smaller. There's no really set size for this. You could make them really tiny if you had tiny, tiny glasses. You can make them really big if you have bigger glasses. And with that, you have a wonderful parfait, a beautiful sprig of mint. And here it is. Let's see how it tastes. It is really melty and good because we're serving it warm. This is really good. It's kind of like a hot chocolate with a lot of whipped cream and a dessert. It's wonderful. We hope you guys try this at home. We hope you like it. And we hope you'll join us next week. Please remember to subscribe to our channel if you haven't done so already to get great new cooking shows each week. Thanks for joining us. Bye-bye.